Greetings. Welcome to a 5-minute movement moment. I'm Jen. Let's connect. If you have a yoga mat, we'll use that. If not, just a comfortable place on your floor, a surface that works for your body. And we'll meet in tabletop position, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and seeing if you can really relax the tops of your ankles, so tops of feet resting down. And starting with an in-breath to find a cow pose. The belly does drop and the heart stretches forward. And an exhale round like angry cat, starting off with some just graciousness in the body. So these movements, as you start to go back and forth, do not have to be the most ginormous cows and cats you can find. Just start to feel into your body. Depending on the time of day that you're bringing this little practice in, being really thoughtful about what you feel across the lower back, the shoulders, the head, and the neck. And you could start to sway and move in other ways, front to back, a little side to side. Just take some time to organically explore your spine, your breath. I like inhales to cow and exhales to cat, just feeling this lengthening and expansion in front and back body. And then as you're ready, we'll connect back to table in a neutral spine. You can always put blocks or something under the hands to elevate the wrists here. Let's lift the right leg long, bend the knee, and let the hip start to open. I'm going to face you for this moment. And just feeling some rotation maybe at the ankles or movements at the hips, or just pausing to hold and lift, keeping your right shoulder down as much as possible so you can keep the emphasis here in the lower back and the hips. And then as you're ready, keeping that lifted right leg, can you actually cross that right leg over the left? Both knees are bent. I'm going to turn my back to you actually, so you can see this kind of crisscross, and you can open the feet as far as you like. And maybe you're able to send your hips back and forward just a little bit. So I find if I let my hips just start to draw back, I get a sensation across my outer hips, my knees, my ankles. So the amount of movement that you're doing here is just entirely up to you and your body. Take just a few more moments to just explore any tension in the hips, any release you might be feeling here. And then the next time your shoulders are over the wrist, so weight forward, we'll carefully unwind the legs. Take a moment to perhaps cow and cat one more time to find that neutral spine. And then we'll go the other direction. I'm going to stay facing you. So left leg lifts. I'm hopefully looking like your mirror image. Finding that opening. Again, your ankles could be rolling here. You could be finding some movement or just pausing to get that stretch as though gravity's trying to steal your left foot off to the right side of your space, left shoulder down. And then as you're ready, we keep that lifted left leg so we can just cross it over the right. And again, you could open the feet wider. Maybe you need to shift your hands. I just noticed I needed to do that. And then give yourself some time to maybe move front to back. You might find that this position of the body brings in a lot of different sensations, one side compared to another. So just breathe into what comes in for you here. Take a few more rounds of breath. And then again, when your weight is over the wrists, unwind, coming back to tabletop pose. And then from table, let's open the knees a little wider. If it's okay to keep the tops of the feet down, maybe you curl them under. Let's settle back toward a child's pose. And give yourself some time to really feel that melting sensation of tailbone down to the heels, but make adjustments depending on how the knees, hips, and ankles feel. Maybe your toes curl under. Maybe your weight stays a little bit forward and your tailbone goes up toward the sky. Wherever you start to land, see how it feels to take your right hand off to the corner of your mat and maybe sweep your left hand over the top and just breathe into that left side body, settling your left hip back, breathing into left rib cage. Full breath in, stay to breathe out. Carefully switching sides. Left hand to the left corner, right hand over the top, and starting to soften and melt. Your right hip down and back, maybe softening your right arm toward the mat. Breathe, send a breath into the right rib cage. Exhale, soften. Bringing yourself back to center with the arms. One more full breath, maybe stretch up on the fingertips. And as you exhale, soften, pull your body back up toward a tabletop pose. And then we'll just drop to one hip and swing the legs around. planting the feet in front of you, taking hands behind, fingertips toward you, and just give yourself a little lift of your heart. Maybe you scoot your hips closer to your heels and drop a few times into softening elbows, just to see if there's a stretch to be had across your chest and shoulders. I find if I scoop my hips a little further toward my feet, I get a little more stretch if that may be something you need. And then taking a moment to lift up, sit up, reach up one more time. And we'll take the left leg straight out. Either keep your right foot next to it or step it to cross over. I'll face you. Sit up really tall. Bring your left arm around to give a gentle hug to your right leg. So just a really mindful twist here. Using your right fingertips to maybe push your spine taller. So drawing the crown of your head toward the ceiling. Exhale, stay and soften. Another full breath in. Stay to breathe out. Carefully unwind, bring both legs out, give them a little shake and a wiggle, maybe through your hips as well. And then right leg stays straight, left leg bends or crosses over. Sit up really tall. Right arm sweeps around and gives that hug. Big breath in. Stay to breathe out. Feel your shoulders soften. Feel this sense of ringing out, but from a really welcoming space. We're not trying to get really aggressive here. Just feel that sensation of rotation in a way that your breath and body say yes. And then we'll unwind again. Bring both legs around and give them a little shake. And I'll invite you to just end in a crisscross seated space, whatever way you feel best, across the legs, shimmy a bit through the hips, take a cleansing breath in, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, hands come down. Taking just a breath of gratitude for making this time for a quick stretch today. The light and love in me appreciates the light and love in you. Namaste.